Bonjour, bonjour. Today's challenge is all about c'est versus il est. So if this is not something new to you, then I am ready for you to just do great and get all of these right and know all of the reasons why c'est is the answer or il est is the answer. And if this is new to you, don't worry, I'm going to explain everything. So let's go on and get started. What I want you to do in this first one is choose between c'est or il est. Okay? Monsieur Perret, blank, un gérant capable. And what we want this to mean is Monsieur Perret, he is a capable manager. He is a capable manager. What's your answer? Okay, the answer is c'est. Monsieur Perret, c'est un gérant capable. And you might be thinking, yes, I know that because I've had this lesson, I've done this lesson with you before, Jennifer, and I know that when there's a determiner word before the noun, which in this case is gérant, then I have to use c'est. That's the rule, in fact. A determiner word is one that's going to determine the gender of the noun that follows. So is it masculine or feminine? And it's also going to tell us whether the noun is plural or singular. So in this case, it's, of course, singular. Yes, I said he is a capable manager, but did you know that c'est can also mean he is or she is? It can refer to people as well. Okay, numéro 2. Jean-Luc et Adrien, blank, des ingénieurs. Ce sont ou ils sont? Okay, let's read the answer together. Jean-Luc et Adrien, ce sont des ingénieurs. Jean-Luc et Adrien, ce sont des ingénieurs. Jean-Luc and Adrian, they are engineers. So even though we are stating a profession here, I'm not saying Jean-Luc and Adrien are engineers. Well, I just said that that's what I'm saying, but I'm not really stating their profession. I'm not saying Jean-Luc is an engineer. That would be Jean-Luc est ingénieur, okay? But here I'm wanting to say that there are a couple of engineers. So I'm sort of adding a quantity here when I add in the D, d'accord? D is a determiner word. Allez, numéro 3. Ma meilleure copine, marrante. So what I want to say here in English is my best friend, she's funny. She is funny. C'est ou elle est? Elle, in this case, we get to use elle est marrante. She is funny because marrante is the feminine form of the adjective marrant, which means funny, and it's an adjective to describe ma meilleure copine, elle. There's no determiner word here. We don't have un, we don't have une, we don't have le, la, les, or any of those other determiner words, so we can go ahead and stick with elle est. Okay, numéro 4. Blank. Prête, les pâtes, and les pâtes is pasta. So what this sentence is supposed to mean in English, is it ready, the pasta? Or is the pasta ready? In English, the pasta is feminine. It's singular, right? We group it together. It's a collective noun. But in French, les pâtes, the pasta, since there's actually more than one of them, it's kind of like hair. You know, we refer to hair as being plural in French. Same thing with pasta. Now, we're going to go with ce sont or elles sont prêtes. Well, prête, whoops. Here we go. Prête is an adjective, right? There is no determiner word in there. So we're just saying, are they ready? Or they are ready, the pastas? You see what I mean? Of course, in English, it's singular. Remember that elle can replace all feminine and plural nouns. It's not just for people. So I can definitely refer to the pasta as elle. I'm not saying... I'm not really saying she's ready, the pasta. No, it's still an it, but it's a feminine and plural it in this case. Okay, here we go. Numéro 5. Blank, un très vieux chien. A very old dog. Should we go with c'est or il est? What we want to say is, oh, he's a really old dog. He's a very old dog. It's a masculine dog. C'est ou il est? Okay, here we're going with c'est because you have un after it. Un is a determiner word. Remember, that's your big clue here. C'est un très vieux chien. He's a very old dog. D'accord? Allez, numéro 6. Blank, de vieux meubles. Vieux meubles means old furniture. Are we going to go with ce sont or ils sont? Well, de is a determiner word. Ce sont de vieux meubles. Now let's break this down for a second though and translate it to English because again, in English, I would say, oh, that's some old furniture. I wouldn't say those are some old furnitures. In English, we keep it singular, but not in French, just like the pasta. So I'm going to go with the plural, ce sont. Now what about de vieux meubles? Maybe you remember from the bags adjectives that when we have a bags adjective like vieux, and it's plural, so obviously it comes before the noun that it describes, the des has to change to de. It's still a determiner word though. Ce sont de vieux meubles. Allez, numéro 7. Blank, une vue magnifique. Une vue magnifique, a magnificent view. C'est ou elle est? C'est une vue magnifique because une is a determiner word. And also here we're going to say in English, oh, that's a magnificent view. That's a beautiful view. And so it works because we're not really saying, oh, she's a magnificent view, right? But remember that une vue is feminine, and in other situations, it will be referred to with the subject elle, simply because even though it's a thing and not a person, it's feminine. Okay, numéro 8. Blank, mes affaires, ne les touchez pas. So I want to say, that's my stuff. Those are my belongings. Don't touch them. Mes affaires, my belongings, my things. Ce sont ou elles sont? Well, it is plural, so we know we have to use sont. Ce sont mes affaires, ne les touchez pas. Ce sont mes affaires, ne les touchez pas. Because mes, look at mes is also a determiner word. Well, it's not un or une or le, la, les, but mes tells us that affaire is a plural noun. Ce sont mes affaires. Those are my belongings. Ne les touchez pas. Don't touch them. So the les you see there is a direct object pronoun which replaces mes affaires. Don't touch them. Okay, numéro 9. Blank, presque 18 heures. So here we just want to say it's almost 6 p.m. C'est ou il est? Il est presque 18 heures. So many of my students want to say c'est presque 18 heures. It's almost 6 p.m. But when you're stating the time and you have to choose between c'est and il est, we're always going to go with il est. Always. Think about it. How do you ask what time is it? You say quelle heure est-il? Or maybe you say il est quelle heure? So we ask the question the same way using il est. So it only makes sense that we're going to reply using il est as well. So remember that. Always il est with the time when stating the time. Numéro 10. Blank, des pays riches. And that means rich countries. So what we want to say is those are rich countries. Ce sont ou ils sont? It's plural, so we use sont, but which form? Ce sont des pays riches. Ce sont des pays riches. Those are rich countries, or these are rich countries. It can mean either one, these or those, when it's plural. Des is a determiner word. It tells us that pays is a plural noun. Now, I don't want you to get this one, des pays riches, confused with the one where we used bags adjectives, okay? Because when we use bags adjectives, like in this one, we said ce sont de vieux meubles. Well, here we said de because vieux is a bags adjective that's plural and it comes before the noun that it describes. But here in the one we've just looked at, des pays riches, you see that the adjective riche is not a bags adjective, so it comes after the word pays, which means we don't have to change des to de. Okay. Allez, numéro 11. Regarde, blank, Isabelle. We just wanted to say, hey, look, it's Isabelle. C'est ou elle est. Regarde, c'est Isabelle. C'est Isabelle. You can always hear c'est Isabelle as well, okay? But the thing is, you always have to use c'est with proper nouns. So if I wanted to say, oh, look, it's Mr. Benoit. C'est Monsieur Benoit. Oh, look, it's Madame Crespin. C'est Madame Crespin. So always c'est with proper nouns. Allez, numéro 12. Blank, de beaux paysages. Beau paysage means beautiful landscapes. Plural. Ce sont ou ils sont? Here we're going to go with ce sont because de is a determiner word. Ce sont de beaux paysages. Ce sont de beaux paysages. Those are beautiful landscapes, or these are beautiful landscapes. Again, beau is a bags adjective and it's plural. It comes before paysage, so des changes to de, but it is still a determiner word, even though this bags rule doesn't really tell us too much about the beau paysage. That's a rule I want you to remember. Ce sont de beaux paysages. Allez, numéro 13, blank, une femme libre. So what we want to say here is she is a free woman. She is a free woman. Which one are we going to go with? Alors, let's see if you remembered the rule. Even though she is a free woman, we're going to go with c'est. C'est une femme libre. C'est une femme libre. And the reason why c'est means she is here is because une is a determiner word. D'accord? C'est une femme libre. D'accord? Ok, bien. Numéro 14. Alors, la carafe, the pitcher or the carafe, it's empty. It's empty. So here we just want to say it is empty, right? You have an adjective there. Vide means empty. Is it going to be c'est or elle est? Let me ask you this before I show you the answer, because this is the last one in today's challenge. Does it matter that la carafe is a thing and not a person? No, it doesn't matter. What we have to look at is what comes after that blank. And what comes after the blank is an adjective that describes la carafe. Is there a determiner word? No. So now you know the answer. La carafe, elle est vide. The pitcher, it's empty. Okay? And I know that this business of calling objects by il or elle, singular or plural, seems a bit strange, just like it seems a bit strange if you want to refer to a person, a man, a woman, a girl, a boy. If you want to refer to them as c'est, it sounds like you're referring to people as it, and as if we're referring to things like a picture as she. Well, in French, you are, but let's just remember that il and elle, they determine the gender of the noun. And since every noun in French is either masculine or feminine, we have to take off our English thinking caps and put the French one on and realize that this is how the language works. Donc voilà, that was your challenge of the day on c'est versus il est. Come back to it anytime you want, and we'll see each other again tomorrow for another défi du jour. Merci et à demain.